Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make an end grain cutting board. What you're seeing me do right now is get all the wood to working length and width, and yeah, just get all the stock to what I'm trying to get it to. I am lucky enough to have a joiner and a planer, which makes this so much easier to go ahead and join and plane all the wood. Looks like I'm getting the walnut down to about 1 1/8 inch. And it's going good, as you can tell. There's not really a lot to tell you about in this part of the video. I'm just getting it all down, cut to length, vacuums in the way there. You know how this goes. We actually got the joiner on Facebook Marketplace for like $200, so it's a pretty good deal. So right now I'm cutting all these walnut boards down to about 1 1/4 inch wide, and then they're about maybe 1/16 inch thick. Yeah, so I'm just doing that with all these. And at this point, I don't actually know how big this board is going to be. I know I want it to be pretty sizable because I'm actually making this for my sister's boyfriend. He is a big chef, and he has been using the cutting boards that I have made for my mother in her home, and he has pretty much destroyed them all. He cuts more fruits and vegetables on those things than you could pretty much ever imagine. So those cutting boards are getting absolutely destroyed. So I figured, all right, for his birthday, I'm gonna make him a nice end grain cutting board, something that is going to last him a lot longer, and he's not gonna break it as easily. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this, and this is also a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. And if you're looking at these shots and going, oh my gosh, these shots are amazing, clearly whoever filmed this is an amazing videographer. It was me. This video was filmed by me, edited by John, so thank you, John, for that. Editor John, if you don't know. John is the editor of the channel. But yeah, these shots are looking pretty good. So thank you for your kind words on them, that I know you will, I know you'll comment. Right now, I'm going through those walnut pieces, and I'm getting rid of anything that looks like crap or has some big knots or, wow, that's a big one. Look at that. Yikes. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing here. So I'm just throwing those ones to the side, and now I'm looking up, is it okay to use white oak for a cutting board? Because I have a whole bunch of white oak lying around that was gifted to us by a couple friends of ours. You probably saw them in the video, 3 college kids turned woodwork into their full-time job. Treeline Terrains was the video, that's their company. They ended up selling their business, so props to them. Basically, we did the video with them, and then like the next month they were like, hey, thanks for the video, we sold the business. But I mean, we couldn't be happier for them. They ran an incredible business, and they exited. So that's what running a business is all about if you're an entrepreneur. So that's pretty cool for them. So yeah, if you haven't checked out that video, go check it out. But yeah, I'm using a bunch of white oak that they gave us. They probably gave us $1,000 worth of white oak for basically free, because they just had so much of it that they were never going to use again. So they were like, hey, you want it? So yeah, I said yes. So now I'm getting all the white oak pieces cut down to the same 1 1/4 thickness. I keep saying thickness, it's width. I mean width. Yeah, so I do this, I don't know how many strips I ended up with in the end. I did use some mahogany as well. You'll see that. But yeah, the goal of this was to make it all out of walnut, because my sister's boyfriend, he really wanted this all to be made out of walnut. And after cutting up that first walnut board, I went to him and I was like, hey man, I'm gonna have to buy some more walnut. And he was like, it doesn't matter, do whatever colors you want. So we went with the white oak. All right, this is the mahogany that you're seeing right here. We bought 2 big old chunks of mahogany. We hadn't used them yet. So this day that I'm cutting up the mahogany, we used it for the first time. John was making a cutting board for our apartment that we are still using to this day. And yeah. Anyway, so now I'm just going ahead and I'm cutting this to length. What is the length? I think it was 24. I'm gonna be honest, I filmed this video a long time ago, so I couldn't tell you the exact length. Maybe it's 30. It was pretty long. It was a pretty big board. But I went ahead and I organized the pieces into a pattern that I liked. Obviously, I realized that at the end it was going to be the end grain showing and not the side grain. But, you know, I like the way this looked. Now I'm just doing a simple little glue up, just like you'd glue up any other cutting board. Pretty self-explanatory. This goes on for a while. Yeah, a lot of glue. Oh, okay. Thank you, John, for skipping ahead. We don't have to watch all the gluing. Yeah, I used a ton of glue and some cauls. The cauls have been my best friends lately. I don't know how I ever made cutting boards or anything like that without cauls, but cauls are awesome. If you don't know what cauls are, they are just a scrap piece of wood with some packing tape on one side of them, and then that packing tape side is the part that goes on the piece you're gluing up and clamping up. That way, the glue won't adhere to the wood. And I'm using plywood because plywood is super strong when you're gluing stuff up with that pressure on it. If you're putting pressure on it on the end grains, it's going to be way stronger than if you were to do it with the face grain. So yeah, cauls your best friend. This is a brand new t-shirt that I'm wearing in this shot right here. And I'm just glad that I didn't get wood glue on it. But anyways, that's beside the point. Now I'm just going ahead and I'm chiseling off all the glue, and I tried to use the hand planer for a second, and I quickly realized that wasn't going to work. So I went ahead and I started chiseling away. Now this took a while, and I know what you're thinking. Well, why didn't you just put this through the planer? There you go. I thought it was too thick, too wide to put through the planer. And then I was like, well, how wide is my planer actually? And it's 13 inches wide, and this board ended up being exactly 13 inches wide. So I was able to bring it through the planer, which was awesome, because now, I mean, look at that, it looks amazing. So now I brought it over to the miter saw, squared off one edge, and did I square off the second edge? I don't know. We're about to find out. Yep, get through it. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Nice. That took way too long. Oh, do a little shimmy. Why not? I don't really know what this was from. Like I said, this was quite a while ago that I filmed this. Oh, I'm clapping too. I have no recollection of this, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm walking down the stairs. Okay. And back to the beautiful shots. Okay, let's see. 1 3/8 inches. All right. So here we go. Now we're doing the end grain part. So I am cutting this perpendicularly to the stripes. See what I mean there? So the stripes and the end grain of the board is going up against my rip fence, and I'm ripping all these pieces down to 1 3/8 inches. Now, why am I doing it to 1 3/8 inches when the width of each piece is 1 1/4 inch wide? Well, now I'm deciding how thick I want the cutting board to be, because in a little bit we're going to be gluing all these pieces together with the end grain sticking up and down. So cutting them to whatever width you want the board to be thickness wise is what you're supposed to do in this step here. So that's why I went with 1 3/8 inches instead of 1 1/4. So it's going to be a little bit thicker of a board when it's done than what you saw before. Because I mean, basically before I started cutting this up, I had made a cutting board, and that cutting board was fine. It was beautiful, in my opinion. But we're making an end grain cutting board. Why make an end grain cutting board? I already answered that. This is kind of a cool shot. I set up this shot too. It's a lot though. Okay, here we go. Alright, so now I am just putting them all together, the correct orientation. How do I know it's the correct orientation? Because of that walnut strip there. I want that, or not walnut, excuse me, mahogany. That mahogany strip you see there on the left side of your screen. What? I don't know if I've said this in the voiceover yet, but this is my first time attempting an end grain cutting board. So far, so good. But still time for failure. But so far, so good. Okay, so I guess I talked in this. I don't remember that. But yes, this was my first time ever attempting an end grain cutting board. And yeah, honestly, so far so good. Now, this part of the glue up, you're really going to want to use those cauls, which was quite difficult. I had to have my girlfriend come and hold them there. sometimes the calls are not easy. But yeah, you really want this to be as flat as possible because you won't have to do as much work in the end. So I used 3 sets of calls, both sides and the middle. And then just checking out my work, pretty impressed with it. And now I'm gonna let it sit. I definitely let it sit at least for 24 hours, if not more. It might have been more. Again, filmed this a long time ago, don't remember. Now I've got John's help on clamping those suckers. And this is the fun part. Now, you will start to see some imperfections in the lineup of the glue up. And that's just the way it is. It wasn't perfect. I did not take as much time as I probably should have. So you can see there's a few pieces that are a little bit offset, and yeah, that's just the way it is. I still think it looks good. All right, what am I doing here? I am surfacing it. So I built this little surfacing jig. It's super simple. It's just 2 pieces of plywood on each side at a 90-degree angle, and then I've got a little router sled for my router, and that way I can go up and down the board and just surface it. So I've got a surfacing bit on the router. Surfacing bit, I don't know, it's like 20 bucks, and you know, it's working fine. This is one of those things that if you have a bad router that does not keep the depth of your bit, this is not going to go well. Mine did a pretty good job. There's definitely some sanding to do afterwards, but it did a pretty good job. So I went ahead and did both sides. Then I squared up one side on the circular saw, then used that flat edge to go to the table saw and square up the other edge. Oh, yeah, no. Why would I use 2 push sticks? Why would I use 1? Why just use none? Let's lose a finger today. Yeah, it wasn't as sketchy as it looks. Yeah, so then I guess we didn't film when I rounded over the sides, but I did do a 1/8 inch round over on all 4 sides, and I got to sanding. I started with 60 grit, and it's the most sanding you'll ever do on a cutting board, that's for sure. You just gotta keep sanding and keep going. And yeah, then I made my way up to 120, 220, and I think we ended at 220, but we did 220, well, I say we, it was me. It was all me. I did 220 a bunch. And then I water popped it, as you saw there, waited for that to dry, and then went ahead and sanded again to 220. Now, my favorite part, coating it. Now, a cutting board like this, you're gonna need a ton of coats on this because all that mineral oil is going to soak into the end grain of the cutting board, which is great, but it's going to take a bunch of coats. So I think I only filmed 1 coat, but I ended up doing 7 or 8 coats, I believe, because you would come back the next day and it would look like you coated it, but it would look like you didn't do a good job coating it because all that oil had seeped in to that end grain there. So you got to keep coating it. I've seen a lot of people, they put the mineral oil in a big bucket and then they soak the cutting board for a while in the big bucket. That's great. That's a great way to do it. As you see, I'm just using the small Howard's bottle. I'd have to dump all my Howard bottle into that and go for it. So I just decided to do it this way. But there it is, guys. That is the end grain cutting board. Here you can kind of see the imperfections on the glue up, but all in all, I'm thrilled with the way it came out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment down below any other videos you'd like us to make, and I'll see you in the next one.